Hello and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is June 6th. I was looking at the calendar. June 6th, Tuesday. And wow, my kids get off on Friday. So we're going to have summer vacation. I love it. I'm excited. It's been beautiful here in Virginia. I hope it's been nice where you are. And it's been nice and cool. So that's been awesome. I'm assuming it's going to get hot pretty soon. Really hot. It gets so hot and, like the humid here. But, I've lived in Florida. I've also lived in Mississippi. I've lived in a lot of places where it is really hot as well. So, we're kind of in the middle, although summers really are hot. Anyways, so moving on, I want to talk about today with you. Have you seen the title, why am I failing at voiceover? I think I brought this topic to speak about because a lot of us are going through having these challenges, and we feel like we're failing. And more importantly, we don't know what to do about it. So I want to kind of chat with you today and hopefully give you some tips about what steps to take to move forward. Okay, I think first off, the premise of this whole thing is failure is not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing, right? A lot has been written on this, and it takes a little change of mindset. But if we look at failure and success as being partners and not on opposite sides, which a great book by Maxwell, right? Malcolm Maxwell? Yeah, wait, no, Maxwell. Yeah. What is it? anyways, it's called Failing Forward. And what is it called? I gotta Malcolm. Yeah, John. What is it? John Maxwell. Sorry, John C. Maxwell. Failing Forward. Great book. Anyways, I was like, what is the name of that? But the idea is that failing is not a bad thing. Failing is a good thing, right? Because failing is helping us learn, right? But it's often in our society looked down upon. So when you are struggling with your voiceover business and you feel like you're failing, like you're doing all this work, you've put up a whole bunch of work, you've gone to different platforms, you've tried all these things and nothing seems to be happening, you feel like you're failing and you feel like you don't know what to do. Okay, I want to share with you some of my thoughts about this today. And the first part of this is, what questions are you asking? And what I mean by that is, I'm doing some work recently on taking the scientific method and using the 6 steps in the scientific method and really tailoring them towards business. Whether it's product development or marketing. And I think, of any sort of strategy, because this is a strategy type of scenario, getting more work or building our business or whatever, we have to ask the right questions. So why am I failing? Okay, well, that's a question. You're probably failing because you're not getting voiceover work, right? I mean, that question doesn't help much, all right? And so I find that the first, part of this whole thing is asking the right question. Asking the right question, which could simply be, what is the best way to sell my voiceovers? What is the best way to sell a voiceover? What is the best way? You see. So like, one, it's how, like, what type of question you're asking. Is it a forward moving type of question? And two, does that question directly move you towards finding an answer that will better your business. Because if you ask a question, it could be like, how do I sell voiceovers? Well, I mean, that is a question, and that is worthy of, researching and going from there. But how I sell my voiceovers might not work for you, and vice versa, because maybe the type of voiceovers that people want to buy from you is different than the type of voiceovers they want to buy from me. So again, how to sell and what is the best way to sell my styles of voiceovers, okay, becomes a better question, because it starts to narrow that focus in on us individually, which then leads us to the next part, which is the research phase, right? So if you're a fan, or you remember the scientific method, unless you're a scientist, or you remember it from our grade school days or whatever, the next part is questions, right? We are the next part. First part's question. Next part is research. So we were going to research other businesses, other voice actors, get coaching, right? You're researching what it is that people who are either similar to you, delivering the same style in your opinion, selling doing the same voiceover business that you are, and they're being successful. You're starting to research and find out what they're doing, how they're doing it, what is being successful for them, and selling their voiceover styles. All right. Who are they selling it to? What are their customers? What do those customers want? Right. That research part is really important. And from the research part, right, then we, move into the hypothesis part, right? Like, if I do A, right, then I expect B and C to happen, whatever you make of your hypothesis, right? If I email these specific people on this day during this hour, I expect to get these type of leads, which will get me, sell this type of, or sell my voiceovers to them. All right. But you see, at that point, you have asked a very specific question. You've researched people who are doing what you want to do, who are either selling something similar, etc. And then you're moving forward. Now, you might find, right, that, and this is what I see a lot that happens, is that, all of us are unique. So, and a lot of us, our styles are very unique, which is what makes us different and hireable or desirable. But a lot of times we don't consider that there are certain things that people just aren't going to buy from us for whatever reason. So, perfect example, I've learned that, now you might still do one or two here or there, but I've learned, for example, people just don't buy a lot of voicemail, a lot of IVR work from, they just don't. I've done occasionally, but I just don't get a lot. I've coached other people, and especially women in this arena, who get so much voicemail work. I mean, it's ludicrous, in my opinion, like just how much voiceovers they get for doing voicemail and IVR. I get, like, big fat goose egg, I get zero. I get very low. People just don't want to hire me for it. That's not the style that people want to hire me for. I get it. Okay. Right? Another thing, I get hired to do a lot of corporate narration, as you guys know. Okay? One thing I don't get hired for a lot of times is long form e-learning. I just don't get hired to do e-learning much. Now, corporate narration, you could claim, could be e-learning, but a lot of the corporate narration I do is more like explainer videos. So I get hired to do corporate explainer videos, really. So there's a sales aspect behind it, but it's also inspirational. Not that e-learning is not, but I don't get hired to do a lot of long-form e-learning. Okay, I do get hired to do commercial work, But there's a lot. So there's a lot of different things. Like, for example, there's a lot. I don't get hired to do accent words because I suck at accents. I'm very good at certain accents. There's certain characters. Now a Southern accent, because I'm from the South and I can do kind of more of a Southern accent. I can also be more neutral, and I can pour it on thick when I need to. I'm a good character voice actor. I can do characters, but only certain characters. I'm good at getting hired for evil villains. I have an evil villain laugh, as you guys know, so I've done that. And a lot of other times, I'm not good at being. I don't get hired for the hero, right? I'm the anti-hero. I'm the villain. All right, which I love, but I'm not the everyman hero type. That's not the part I get hired for. People just don't like that. That's just not my style. Understanding this, all right, takes a lot of this trial and error, but asking the right questions, trying things out, okay, and then, from there, learning, okay, so it's, and then doing it again and doing it again. Okay, you fail, you try, you fail, you learn, do it again. You try, you fail, you learn, you do it again. You test. I think in the book, it's in that particular book they call test, fail. Because anytime you test something out, you're gonna fail, right? Because it's a high probability you're gonna fail, all right, at it, because it's something you're just testing out. So you're gonna test, you fail, you learn. You test, you fail, you learn. You do that enough times, you're gonna start to learn and make the corrections necessary to get further along, right? And get that little bit more success, and that little bit more success here and here and here. And I like using the scientific method as a strategy for figuring that out. It at least gives you a structure, a logical, 6-step process. And you can, of course, manipulate that however you want, but I think that if you're struggling with that, first you're asking that right question. You test out, okay, what you're doing, what that question leads to, right after your research. You test out your hypothesis. Then from there, you're going to fail. You need to record those failures. You need to analyze them. Then we come back, right? And after we've tested that out, we learn from that and we do again. We do it again, right? Maybe we're still on the same question, but this time a hypothesis, all right, changes. So this time I say I tried to email these people at this time with this type of email. It didn't work. Maybe I'm going to, try a content strategy. Okay. Maybe I'm going to run 3 different strategies at once, and you're trying these out and you're saying, I want to see which one works the best for me selling my voiceovers. And then you'll find as you do this too that you get more specific, right? And that you'll find there's little tweaks here or there where you're targeting people, what social media you're on. There's different clients on different social media. I mean, I'm learning. I'm doing this very thing with Academy Voices, and it is such an amazing road to go down, because the understanding where to go, because I'm small. It's just me, so I don't have the money that Voquent or Voices or Upwork or Fiverr or these companies have to spend 10, 20, 30, or the bigger companies, $80,000 to $100,000 a month on ads to drive traffic, right? To just throw a bunch of in there. But targeted stuff, being able to do that is where we can shine. Kind of coming from that whole guerrilla marketing kind of aspect, if you ever read that book way back in the day. But anyways, so from that point, it's cyclical. All right. I mean, it's just a cycle. You're doing it over and over again. You test, you fail, you learn. You test, you fail, you learn. You test, you fail, you learn. And you keep doing this over and over again. There is a place for you to get voiceover work. Your goal is to, clearly your goal is to find out what type of customer, under what circumstance, where they're at, would hire you to do a voiceover for what they're selling or what they're producing or the message they're trying to get out. Those are all questions that you have to ask, and you've got to find a solution by testing, failing, and learning. Testing, failing, and learning. Okay, I hope this gives you at least a process, a strategy to look at your business objectively and say, okay, this is not working. I'm going to try something else. I think it is clear to say that the most successful people throughout our history in the human race have probably been people who have been able to continue and move forward despite failure. All right. I know Thomas Edison, just pops in my mind. Washington Irving. I mean, these amazing scientists, inventors, people. I mean, those are just two random guys, I know, but like, they put a lot out about how much effort and failures that they had, but the incredible amount of success they had because those failures were part of them learning. Okay, so same with us. All right, and I think it can be applied to business just the same. All right, I know this was kind of deep, philosophical, theoretical. I think it's the theoretical because it is actionable items. These are actionable things that you can do, and you've got to try out. You got to try out things. That's why the question part and the research part is important, right? If you don't have a coach that helps you through this, okay, you've got to do it on your own, and that's fine too. But you've got to research, and you've got to find different ways, right? That or different areas, different people, different strategies that people are using, right, to answer the question you've asked. Okay, and then from there, right, we build our hypothesis. All right, we test, we review that data, and then of course they say the sixth part is publish it and stuff and get feedback. But I think for the sixth part for us, it's not a bad idea to get feedback. All right, or test it out, or grow your circle to see if something's working. So anyways, I hope this has helped. Again, I know it was kind of deep. Please make sure if you did like this, like and subscribe to the channel as well. We've had a really uptick in subscriptions, by the way, so thank you guys so much. It was really exciting, and the channel just continues to grow and grow, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Also, check out the link below to Avio's Journey Elite Academy. We're offering 50% off. We'd love to have you. We do live sessions every week. We have 5 live classes a week, but we also have a whole bunch of pre-recorded classes, and we have a Discord channel, and we have webinars and conferences and all kinds of things that you get access to, and it's just an amazing community. We'd love for you to give it a shot so we can help you start and grow your voiceover business. All right, gang, thank you so much for watching. As always, you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.